Sri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Yamuna Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinda ki jai, Gaur Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Gangaranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, Science of Krishna, the pleasure of their worships, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Dhanava Goswami, and for the pleasure of the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Canto 3, the status quo. Chapter 25, the glories of devotional service. Text number 30. Text number 30. Tale tat me vijanahi yata aham manda tihi Hare Sukam Pujayam Varbhadam Yosha Bhagavad Adaitam me vijanahi Yataham mandir Hare Sukam Pujaya Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat. Thank you. Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat. Tadaitam me vijanahi Yataham mandir Hare Sukam Pujaya Durbodham Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat. Please chant. Tame vijanahi Yataham manda dir Hare Yataham manda dir Hare Sukam Pujaya Durbodham Sukam Pujaya Durbodham Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat Tame vijanahi Yataham manda dir Hare Sukam Pujaya Durbodham Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat. Tadaitam me vijanahi Yataham mandir Hare. Can make it bigger. Sukam Pujaya Durbalyam. Yosha Bhagavad Anugrahat.
तात एतान में विचानहि यथा हम मंदाधीर हरे Sukham bhuteya durbodham Yosha bhavat anugrahat.
Online.
Tadetanme vijanihi
Tare tanme vajanihi
yathaham mandadhir hare
yataha mandirtir hare
Sukham buddheya durbodham
Namujaya bodham
Yosha bhavat anugrahat.
Yosha bhavadanugrahat
Aritan me vijanihi
Tare tanme vijanihi
yataham mandadir hare
yataha mandirtir hare
Sukham buddheya durbodham
Sukham buddheya durbodham
Yosha bhavadanugrahat.
Yosha bhavadanugrahat
Tade tad,
Tare
that
tad
same,
that same
may to me.
Vajanahi, please explain yata, so that aham, I, manda, slow, dihi, whose intelligence may understand. Very difficult to understand. Yoshan, a woman, Bhavad Anugrahat, by your grace. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Devahudi speaking to her son, Kapila, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She says, "My dear son Kapila, after all, I'm a woman. It is very difficult for me to understand the absolute truth because my intelligence is not very great. But if you will kindly explain it to me, even though I'm not very intelligent, I can understand it and thereby feel transcendental happiness." Purport. Knowledge of the absolute truth is not very easily understood by the intelligent man. But if the spiritual master is kind enough to the disciple, however unintelligent the disciple may be, then by the divine grace of the spiritual master, everything is revealed. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur therefore says, Yasya Prasadat, by the mercy of the spiritual master, the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavad Prasada, is revealed. Devahuti requested her great son to be merciful towards her because she was a less intelligent woman and also his mother. By the grace of Kapila Dev, it was quite possible for her to understand the absolute truth, even though the subject matter is very difficult for ordinary persons, especially women. So here it is stated that generally women are not very philosophically inclined, and still they have a natural capacity to believe in God, to believe in the supreme absolute truth. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Mami Partava Pastratya Yepisur Papayanyaham Striya Vaishya Sata Sudras Tepriyanti Paramkatam. Krishna says, O son of Pita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, as well as Sudras, can approach the supreme destination. So Bhakti Yoga is so wonderful that it's open to everyone without discrimination as to caste, creed, or color, or birth. And the absolute truth is beyond duality. In the material world, there is duality. Some in this lower birth, some in this higher birth. But Krishna doesn't see it that way because, as Krishna says in chapter 14 in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yanisha Kantaya, I'm the seed-giving father of all living entities. So all living entities are children of God. And God has a natural affection for all his children. Even if they happen to take birth as a mosquito or a cockroach, still Krishna is affectionate to all his children, even a plant or a microbe, because the spirit souls are all equal. Although the bodies may be different, the dress may be different, but the soul is the same, Satchidananda, and 1/10,000 size, the tip of a hair. The Atma is infinitely small, very small, about the size of an atom. But the Supreme Soul, Krishna, is infinitely big. But for the pleasure of his devotees, he appears in a form that we could serve, that we could see, just like we're serving Sri Sri Gauratai, even though they're infinite, still that they're accepting our service in the form just suitable for our vision, Jai Sri Sri Gauratai. Because in our contaminated state, we cannot see Satchidananda. We can only see stone, marble, or wood, or paint. So Krishna appears in the form that we could see. This is his infinite mercy. And he accepts our service if it's offered with love and devotion and according to the rules and regulations of Bhakti Marg. So the absolute truth is both a subject and object. And the absolute truth includes both the known and the knower. In the material world, the knower is different from the known. In the material world, the subject is different from the object. But in the absolute world, it's all one. There's no duality. So the science of the absolute truth is very difficult to understand for a common man. Common men are simply interested in gratifying their senses, just like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And they have no inquisitiveness to learn about God or what I am. Am I matter or am I spirit? These questions do not arise in the heart of the ordinary man. But by the grace of a pure devotee, this inquisitiveness can be revived. Devahuti, the mother of Kapila, she's asking the questions, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is glorious because all the questions here are perfect, and the answers are also perfect. There's no mistake, and it's applicable to all the yugas, even though this conversation took place in Satya Yuga. It's just as applicable today in Kali Yuga. And Lord Chaitanya says in the Sikh Shastika, Jinadapi Sudeshena Torapi Sahishnuna, one can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So Devahuti was approaching her son in such a humble state of mind, thinking that she is in the body of a less intelligent woman. So therefore, she was competent to receive the full mercy of her spiritual master. Her spiritual master in this case was her son, Kapila. And this relationship of Devahudi and Kapila is very intimate, and this conversation is most confidential. It's not like the conversation between an ordinary mother and son, because Devahudi's relationship with her son Kapila is eternal. Kapila has his own planet in the Vaikunthas. It's called Kapila Vaikunta, and Kapila lives there eternally. And in his very life, Devahudi attained the highest perfection by hearing from her son and understanding her son. Simply by hearing and understanding and carrying the instructions of her son, she became perfect in this very life, and she was transferred after the demise of her present body. She was transferred to the Vaikuntha planet of Kapila Vaikuntha, and she's living there now eternally in association of her divine son. And at the same time, Kapila left home, and he went to the study. And then he followed the course of the Ganga down to the Bay of Bengal. And the place where the Ganga meets the sea is the most sacred place. It's called Ganga Sagara. And Kapila Muni is residing there eternally. And His Holiness Donovan Maharaj also told us that he visited Kapila in this sacred place. It's called Ganga Sagara. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one attains the mercy of Krishna. And without the grace of the spiritual master, no one can make any advancement. So therefore, one should always meditate on and bow down before the spiritual master three times a day. And one should always beg for the mercy of Guru, because by the mercy of Guru, one gets the mercy of Krishna. And that's the highest perfection of life. And the Guru is like Ganaganatvam, the Guru is like a cloud. He delivers the mercy of Krishna, just like the cloud delivers the water from the sea in the form of vapor. And when it falls, it's called rain, and it nourishes everybody. No living entity can exist without this water from the cloud. No living entity. So every living entity needs water. Every living entity also needs to understand I'm eternal servant of Krishna. And my relationship is with Krishna, and my relationship is not with this material body or this material world. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, many thousands of men, only one person tries to make his life perfect. And of those who have achieved perfection, only one knows me in truth. So the subject matter of reviving a relationship with Krishna is very difficult. And other transcendentalists say the path of bhakti is for the less intelligent. It's for the women and sentimental people. But the real hardcore transcendentalists engage in the study of Vedanta. But actually, the Bhakti Yoga path is not just for women and sentimental, emotional people. It's for everybody. And Krishna says, Yoginam Api Sarvesham. This is the highest yoga. And all other yogas are progressions toward Bhakti Yoga. Yoga path starts with Karma Yoga, then it progresses to Jnana Yoga. And when Jnana Yoga increases on meditation on the super soul within the heart, it's called Ashtanga Yoga. And beyond Ashtanga Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. So this yoga system is like a ladder. And all the yogis are considered transcendentalists because they are not interested in sense gratification, that they realize that we're not these material bodies, and to satisfy the senses of these bodies unnecessarily is a useless waste of time. And they understand that the real truth is Brahman. But the Bhakti Yoga realizes the supreme Brahman. The Ashtanga Yogi might realize Paramatma in the heart, and the Jnana Yogi, he wants to merge into the impersonal Brahman. So the karmis, jnanis, yogis, they're more or less rascals because they don't surrender to Krishna. But Bhakti Yoga means Sava Dharma Pujyajam, Mamekam Saranambaja, Ham Tvam Sava Pabhyavya, Muksayoshyami Masuchaha. Bhakti Yogi is a person who's surrendered to Krishna. He does what Krishna wants him to do. He doesn't want to do what he wants to do. Unless they could dovetail that thing in the service of Krishna. So it's very rare to find a person who's fully surrendered to Krishna in this material world, because as soon as one reaches this stage of Brahman realization, he goes to Krishna, never coming back. The Jnana Yogis and the Karma Yogis and the Ashtanga Yogis sometimes fall down because they have no shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. But Krishna promises, once attaining my abode, he never comes back to this miserable material world. One should understand that this world is miserable, and that later on in this volume, Lord Kapila describes the miseries of taking birth, the miseries of death, miseries of old age, the miseries of disease. People get the miseries of living in the room of a mother, but this happens not only in human species, but in other species of life, where the child is packed up in a bag, airtight bag, upside down for 10 months. And if a grown man was in the same position, within 1 minute he would die. It's so horrible position. But by God's grace, a baby is forced to tolerate this painful position in the mother's womb. And birth is also very, very painful. The child is forced to come out through a narrow passage. And it's so painful that the child is not able to breathe. And sometimes it's so great that the child comes out dead, stillborn. And when the child is growing up, sometimes he wants his mother's breast, and he's crying. But the mother thinks, well, he's crying, but maybe it's because he has an upset stomach. So because the baby cannot communicate what he wants, he's put in so much difficulty. And generally, children don't like to go to school or get educated, but they're forced to go to school. They're forced to get educated. They're forced to get trained. But the real training is knowing the absolute truth, just like Devahudi is inquiring from Kapila. And Devahudi never tried to be independent. She was always dependent first on her great husband, Kapila, who was the son of Lord Brahma. Not Kapila, but Kardama. Her husband was Kardama Muni, the son of Brahma. And after bearing 10 children, she was instructed by the last child, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and she was dependent on her son after her husband left home for self-realization. So this is the Vedic culture and the Varnashram system. The woman is always dependent on others because women and children are in the same category. Just like the child is always dependent on his elders, similarly the woman also must be dependent. And in the ISKCON society, sometimes if a woman has no family, she's protected by the temple authorities, because woman is very very weak compared to a man, and they're prone to degradation. Just like a 16-year-old boy can travel alone, but a 16-year-old girl cannot travel alone, or she'll be exploited, she'll be degraded. Any comments or questions? Yes, Bhagavad Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I like that you mentioned here about you mentioned that Devahuti, she heard and then she understood by the grace of Kapila Dev, and then she applied the what she learned, and she attained perfection. And as far as I know, this is mentioned actually twice in the Gita, that bhakti is available for those who are by their karma less intelligent. And then it's also mentioned that even one who they just have a propensity to hear from authorities, they can actually, get the science too. So I thought that was nice. That's pretty much our hope, in Kali Yuga, everyone's born a Shudra. And then immediately we come out and we're getting trained to be less than Shudra. So there's no question of discrimination. Every one of us is in the lower intelligence bracket. So we have some good hope that by the mercy of Prabhupada, and we can also learn and apply.
Thank you for that. Yeah, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it said, Padati tata vidas tat ayam gachamadvayam prameti paramadmeti bhagavan ati shabdyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth realize it as impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So the students of the Upanishads realize the absolute truth as impersonal Brahman. This is partial realization. Partial realization is better than no realization. And yogis realize the absolute truth as Paramatma, and the bhaktas realize the absolute truth as the Supreme Person. So all of them are glorious because they know some aspect of the absolute truth. Just like one person may understand the sunshine, and another person might understand the sun planet. But the highest is a person who's met the sun god, and he automatically knows what is a sun planet and what is sunshine. And the next verse is Mantra Vacha Time Translation again. I'm sorry, the translation by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. Sri Mantra said, after hearing the statement of his mother, the people could understand that he became compassionate, sharing, to be different. He described Sankya's system of philosophy, which is a combination of devotional service and mystic realization, as received by disciplic succession. So the relationship of mother and child is very intimate, because the child in the womb is nourished by the mother's own blood. Whatever the mother eats also nourishes that child in the womb. And sometimes the child can forget his father. The child can never forget his or her mother. And the service of the mother to the child is almost selfless. The child is served by the mother with no expectation of return from the mother. So this is it's not exactly pure, because the animals, even the animals like alligators and tigers, they're also affectionate to their children. But devotional service also to Krishna should be without expectation of return. The pure devotees thinks, I don't want any beautiful woman, I don't want any money, I don't want any followers, I don't even want your personal association necessarily, I just want to serve you. So this is pure love. And Bhakti Yoga can deliver this, and when achieves he doesn't want anything else. He simply wants to hear the Lord's words. He wants to hear the Lord's laughter. He wants to experience the Lord's beauty, and he appreciates the unsurpassed beauty of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He also sees the Lord laughing, and when the Lord laughs, his small teeth are exposed, and they look like flower buds, very beautiful. And the Lord's lotus feet is very lustrous, with lustrous toenails, and this is very attractive for the pure devotee. And after appreciating the beauty of Krishna, one gives up the desire to see everything else. Just like the great Acharya, Yamunacharya, he was a great king. But Yamunacharya says, since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, when I think of sex life, I spit on it. It's distasteful to me compared to devotional service. Jai, Sisi Gaurna. Magatari Prabhu.
Sarvamangala Mataji, did you have a comment?
I have a question, Prabhu.
We have a question. Okay.
Yes. Okay, Prabhu, like just now Magdhari Prabhu mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that bhakti is available to those who are like less intelligent. But in Srimad Bhagavatam in 11th canto, we know that verse. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopanga Parshadam Yagya Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Hi Sumedhasa. So here word Sumedhasa is used. So it is like most intelligent person. So in Kali Yuga, those who will be most intelligent, they will take part in the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So this is like I want to understand like it is for less intelligent also, but here it is said those who are most intelligent, they will take part in bhakti yoga in congregational chanting. So how can we correlate? Hare Krishna Prabhu.
This verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's the deliverer, most follow.
And the spiritual master is also called Patita Pavana. He's the deliverer of the most fallen. So by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, anyone can become most intelligent. And in Chicago, talking to a female speaker, and he was saying that in his college, he learned that a woman's brain is 36 ounces, whereas a man's brain is 64 ounces. So the biological difference is there, and just by undergoing some operation or genital transformation, one cannot become the opposite sex, because biologically men and women are different. The man's skin is thicker, and the woman's skin is thinner and more delicate. And Prabhupada said, even though a woman's brain is supposed to be only 36 ounces, my female disciples have expanded their brains to now their brains are 64 ounces. So that's a nice verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. That those who are intelligent in Kali Yuga, they will engage in congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he was chastised by his spiritual master, Ishvara Puri. The spiritual master told him, "You're a fool. Don't study Vedanta, chant Hare Krishna." And Lord Chaitanya took this instruction and began chanting Hare Krishna all over India. And he delivered all kinds of beautiful. Now the descendants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread Chaitanya's glories all over the world. Thank you very much. It's time for the Sankirtan Festival. Our glorious is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, for the pleasure of Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, Lord Nrsingadev, Prahlad Maharaj, Tulsi Maharani, the Vaishnava Acharyas, and especially His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and His Holiness Dhanavir Goswami, as well as all the assembled devotees. We will report the scores for this week. So this week we have 3 book distributors reported. Haribo! Coming in 3rd position with 5 small books, 2 medium books, 1 big book, for a total of 3.25 book points. Bhakta Caleb! Haribo! And in 2nd position with 1 magazine, 1 small book, 3 medium books, and 3 big books for a total of 4.85 book points, Magadhar Das. And in 1st position, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nine magazines, 12 small books, 7 medium books, 12 big books, and 6 Maha big books for a total of 31.4 points. Jagannath Das, Haribo! Please share your highlight with us.
My highlight happened on Saturday night when we were at the plaza. I was training this new technique where a book distributor somewhere I heard that a book distributor said that if you want to give someone a good compliment, you should compliment them on the 26 qualities of a devotee. So I thought I might try that, and I tried it out. And it was working for the whole day, and it worked this time too. Because there was this Muslim family that was walking towards us, and at first I just approached like the 22-year-old looking man, and I said to him, "You look like," everyone likes you," and he said, "Yeah, thanks." And I tried to distribute some books to him, but he wasn't going for it. He just didn't want to. He was Muslim, so his beliefs were pretty conservative. But what was interesting was that, what was amazing was that there was a young woman who stood back from the group. And she asked us, "Are you monks?" And I was like, "Yeah, we are." And she goes, I forgot what she said after that, but she said something nice. She said, I don't know, but she was about to buy a $20 stack of books. But her parents were calling her to leave. her parents were calling her, and she didn't have time. She felt like she was going to be left behind. So she said, at first she said, "I'm sorry, my parents are very, very Muslim." so she so she said that, and but then she was about to be left behind, and what happened after that? So she said she couldn't buy anything, and I said, "Can you just?" I decided to try going for one final try, and I said, "Can you just give $1, and we can give you this small book?" And she said, "Yeah, I can give $1." And so she had Apple Pay, and they have to scan like a QR code and everything like that to like pay through Apple Pay. And so she paid $1, and then I gave her Perfection of Yoga, and she was really happy about it, and I was really happy. And it was we gave her a card to the temple. She didn't come yesterday, but fingers crossed, you know. And by the way, that was only the second Muslim that I've ever distributed a book to. Unfortunately, it was also only a small back then, but yeah. Okay, translating the book distribution, Ki Jai.
Bravo! Hare Krishna Sadhu. Sounds great.
We went to the opening of the new temple in New Talavan yesterday, and we set up the Gargi Samhita set, and a few devotees were going by. A lot of them were in a kirtan in the temple, so there weren't too many going by the table in the beginning. But then one Mataji came by the table, and she saw the Surya Siddhanta there, and she's saying, "Wow, Surya Siddhanta, I studied." She says she has a PhD in something, and she knows maths very well. But she was saying, even for me, this is a very high level. She said, this is like a devotee PhD. So she was looking at that book, and then I showed her the Gargi Samhita set and told her Maharaj had recently finished all 30 volumes of the Gargi Samhita, and she was looking through it, and it turns out her son also really wanted to read it, and she was interested in it, so she said she'll go ask her husband. So she came back a little while later, and she said, yes, he definitely wants the set, and then they all got it. So it was her son, her daughter, and her husband. They'll all read the Gargi Samhita together sometime soon. So they were a fired up family. There's a picture of all of them with Maharaj in the WhatsApp.
Fantastic. I can't pull up the photo at the same time I'm on the call. I can show
Okay.
you.
So we're off to, so far it's been 4 Gargi Samhita sets total. Gyanavan Prabhu distributed one before flying out here, and then 3 went out yesterday. So hopefully many more to come.
Jai.
Please bless us.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Try. Well done. Okay, Bhakti Caleb.
So I distributed a book to a lady the other day when we were on Harinam, And it was kind of funny to me, at least. So either the week or two prior, we were on a Harinam, and Magadari was really stressing to me the importance of not stopping the mridanga during the kirtan. Because I kept trying to hand out Mahamantra cards to people, and I can't really do both at the same time, because I'm not so skilled at the mridanga yet. And so it happened like 2 times where he's like, no, don't stop. Whatever you do, just keep the mridanga going. And I think the 3rd time I did it, he just looked over and he was like, I'm taking those cards from you. So the other day, we were only out for like maybe 5 minutes, and this lady was walking by, and you could tell she was really into the kirtan. And Jambavati Sutta handed her some really nice, I'm forgetting what prasad it was that day. I think it was the lemon cake he makes. And so she had the lemon cake prasad, and Magadari kind of made a head motion for someone like, hey, get her a book, because she was just standing there appreciating the kirtan. So once again, I didn't listen to his instructions. Instead, even though I had the mridanga, I went over and she was actually, she had tears. I don't know why, but she was really into the kirtan, and so I got her to take a perfection of yoga. And she said, thank you so much for coming and talking to me. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And then she said, I'm really missing the drums that you were playing right now, though. And so I thought it was really funny, like Krishna was making it kind of obvious. So Transcendental Book Distribution Key.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, yeah, a quick highlight for myself was yesterday. There's one of our congregation members, Ms. Sunita Mataji, and she has been really strong to bring a guest, like practically every single week. She brings like a new friend, and she brought one of her employees or co-workers or something, and his name was Josh. He was humble and gentle person, and after they took prasadam, she brought him over to me and she said, hey, you sit with this person, and he wants to get some books. And so then I wanted to stand up, and but basically I started talking with this person, Josh, and I asked him, okay, so what did you like from the discussion today? Any points? And he mentioned that, we talked a little bit about suffering in the material world and miseries and things like that. And I said, okay, well, what about your personal life? What's going on? And he wanted to find a sense of purpose. So then, I asked him how familiar he was. He had never been to Hare Krishna, doesn't know anything about it. So then I said, okay, I got a book for you. So I said, okay, you can, if you're comfortable with QR codes and stuff, you can pay back there. Usually people give $7, but you just give from the heart and just keep it under $1 million. And I just went to go get the books. So I got him a Journey of Self-Discovery and a Chant and Be Happy and a Higher Taste, so he can chant a little bit, he can cook for Krishna, and he can learn a bit of the philosophy. So I came back and gave him the books, and he was happy, and Mataji was also happy, and they went on their way. And then I checked my phone, and he had given $100, so I owe him a few books now. So Transcendental Book Distribution Key. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you Rishi Kumar Prabhu and Gyanavan and Dhanaveer Maharaj for tuning in with us, and thank you for spreading these transcendental books all over the world, and we hope that Shri Shri Gaura Nitai bless all your endeavors preaching this Garga Samhita. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai.